On today's show, an absolute bucket list adventure way south of the border.
Piranha.
Ron Shera casts into the bass-rich waters of the Amazon, a remote wilderness full of mystique and watery ghosts. Oh, and no trip goes without at least one unscheduled bush fix.
Well, we got the whole thing out.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hey everybody, Laura and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound.
Today we're heading to one of the most important wilderness areas on the planet.
Yeah, Ron Shera's doing a little bit of fishing in the Amazon.
Also gives us a chance to escape winter, well, for just a bit.
And to see why the Amazon's rainforests are so important to all of us.
The first lesson you learn about the Amazon is its vastness, a vastness composed of many branches. This branch is known as the Rio Negro. The Rio Negro is seemingly an endless maze of fishy-looking places, plus webs with odd faces, and a native culture that, on a daily basis, lives from hand to mouth.
It makes a lot of sense the way to eat it. Fish with a lot of bones.
Very good.
Here on the Amazon, the river's second lesson is about basic survival. Something is always eating something else. Especially the most famous set of teeth in the world.
Piranha. Ooh. Do we see his teeth? Oh my, yeah. Big piranha. Big piranha. Oh, now you can see the teeth. Oh, yeah.
Anglers who come to cast in this eat or be eaten world are happy to call home this unique craft, the Amazon Queen II.
She's 103 feet long. This will be her fourth year in operation.
Meet Captain Mark Kobos.
We've got a crew now of 20 on board, plus 10 guys, 32 people total, 31 with me.
Indeed, the Queen II is a virtual floating base for an angling adventure. Every day, cruising miles to explore new sights and new fishing water.
I like this because, you're out here in the middle of the Amazon in nature, and guests come down here, a lot of people come in the first time, and they say they're amazed at what they see down here, the tranquility and the beauty and everything, and the fishing. Everybody talks about the fishing and coming down, but it's one thing to hear about it, another thing to experience it.
Oh yes, the fishing. It's not just fishing, it's fishing for one of the world's most spectacular fish with fins, the peacock bass.
Like waiting for dynamite to go off.
My native guide is a patient man. His name is Francisco Elvis de Silva, but he goes by the nickname Wilson. Wilson is a serious student of peacock fishing.
Oh.
No problem.
No problem?
No. Fetch.
There we go. Yeah. What kind is this one, Wilson?
Butterfly.
Butterfly, yeah, butterfly. Beautiful. Yeah. Butterfly.
Yes, the peacock bass, named for the peacock eye on its tail, has unique traits that attract American anglers to the Brazilian tropics.
Yeah.
There are 3 subspecies of peacocks, known as butterfly,
Pretty fish.
paca, and the largest, barred or grand peacock. More important, all three strike topwater lures. Strike with a vengeance. Peacocks, the fish, also like to fly.
Oh!
All of which means every encounter with a peacock is unlike any other.
Oh yeah, very nice. Oh yeah. What kind is that one?
Paca.
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 That's a beautiful fish too.
Sporty fish, yes. Beautiful, yes. The only thing a peacock bass isn't is, well, it's not a bass. Rather, it belongs to a family of tropical fish known as cichlids.
Woohoo. Peacock, huh?
Peacock
Wilson?
bass.
Huh?
Yeah, peacock.
Classic color there.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Minnesota Select GMC dealers, Rapala Ice Force, Star Bank, and by Hewitt Docks, Lifts, and Pontoon Lakes.
Today we take a break from our cold Minnesota winter to follow my dad down south to the Amazon. Here's a tip. It's always good to have a doctor along on such a trip.
A visiting angler comes to the Amazon for this.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is a big fish. Oh, man, pull him back, Wilson. Hey, oh, yeah. Big old male with a knob on his head. Oh, my. He's a dandy.
13.
13.
Yeah.
See the knob on the top there? Big old male. Black spot. Beautiful fish. Muy grande.
But you soon discover the Amazon is more than a fishing hole. It's a world of its own. One day, my guide, Wilson, began talking to a caiman, South America's version of a crocodile. The surprising thing was, the croc was talking back.
Are they mating? Is it mating?
Never a dull moment on the Amazon. Late one afternoon, we were docked alongside a small village where daily survival is a way of life.
And she weaves to makes a placemat. It's made from vines. This here's a little camp out. They camp here and they stay here during the dry season. And they plant a lot of fruits and vegetables here. They have manioc root back there. They have watermelon. And they stay here during the dry season. When it fills up, again, the river goes up. All this goes underwater. And then we gotta wait till the river comes back down.
That evening, little did we know, a village resident was suffering a severe toothache. Quickly, our ship's dining room became a dental clinic, and one of the visiting anglers opened his dentistry practice.
Or this is going to hurt. Yeah, that tooth comes out. After he's anesthetized, I'll see if it's a dry socket. I need a needle. I got it. I got it, Ray. I got it.
Anybody can do this can tie their own fishing lures.
It's all in the
If
presentation.
you can do this, you can catch big fish.
Well, we got the whole thing out. I think the patient will live.
For sure, the lifeblood for natives along the Amazon is the river itself. One afternoon, after a day of fishing, Captain Mark Cobos suggests we visit an isolated village.
We're in the village of Canafe. They have here about 50 people in the population. There's 17 families and about 20 kids here. They're bringing a school bill over there. Call everybody over. Toca sinai.
It is mid-December and time for a Christmas party.
Tem camisetas, tem bonés, ok, para vocês aí. Umas sandálias aí também. I'm explaining to what we brought for them, that you guys came and we have a little early Christmas presents for them, okay? Now everybody comes.
We brought toys and school supplies, primarily. Dental equipment is most important. Dental hygiene here in the Amazon is unfortunately one of the big needs.
We gave away our presents and were invited on a tour of the village school.
This was the crayons they have to paint with, so now we brought a bunch of supplies for them. So they need, like supplies like for coloring books and writing, pencils, school materials. Mas você e material didático. First grade is from Monday to Saturday. Y horario de aulas. And they go from 7 to 11 a.m. Only in the morning.
Yet the best lesson, the best Christmas gift of all, was what the Amazon villagers gave to us.
Well, number one, it makes you feel pretty nice and good to be able to do some things for people that don't have anything. And so it makes you kind of appreciate our own.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Connecticut.
If traveling to the Amazon is not adventure enough, Ron Sherrod decided he needed to jump on a plane once he got there.
In the Amazon, it doesn't take long, a 15-minute flight by float plane to go from wild to wilder. We landed on an Amazon tributary, Rio Araca, and there met head guide Z. Bodo. Once again, the trail of fishing water seemed endless. But later, a few casts into the remote water showed we weren't alone.
Got him? Well, I said the sun just started to come out, and then there you go.
I haven't seen him yet. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, he's pretty nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How do you figure that? First big strike of the day.
Leave 11 pounds.
11 pounds. He looks bigger than that.
He does, doesn't he?
Huh?
Good one, huh? Up here. Good spot.
He wanted to go.
Suddenly, peacocks over 10 pounds seemed to be everywhere.
Big fish.
Yeah. There's one.
You got him?
Yeah, I got him, but I think I got him out. Yeah, he's out of there.
That's some good fish.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Look at that. That's a nice pucker.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
Oh, you get so nervous when they're big like that.
That's a nice picture.
More casts later, fishing partner John Beckwith meets the bass of the day.
There he is, John. There he is, John. Oh, he's going for those trees. Oh.
He's pulling that drag. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose him. I'm afraid.
Is he in the trees?
Why don't we go get him?
Yeah.
He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there, I can tell that. Oh, they got him.
You got him?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You'd have never got him out of there.
Is that the wild?
Oh, look at that. Oh, my.
Golly.
20 something.
Oh, I don't know. Gee, where to get that fish like that, though? My gosh.
15, 16.
16 is all. Thanks for allowing me to cast in there. I really appreciate it.
There she goes.
Strange things happen in the Amazon, and well, they should.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Ice Castle Fish Houses and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
I don't get it. Your dad always seems to get the very best fishing assignments.
Like going to fish for giant bass in the Amazon, for instance?
Yeah, the trip that culminates with Ron's fish of a lifetime.
This goes. Yes, a little big, no.
No work?
No work.
Really? Why? Okay.
No bye.
Using sound as his key, Wilson, my native fishing guide, kept tuning my topwater lure to attract strikes. And it worked.
That's a big fish. Big fish.
Those red eyes are just something, aren't they?
Whoops, looks like we got some trouble up ahead. I hope wherever we're going is worth it. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a tremendous jump. Okay. How big, Wilson?
11.
11. All right. Oh, my.
Worth it? In the rain one day, I landed the largest peacock of my fishing days, a 21-pounder.
Whoa!
It turned out to be a fish worth celebrating.
Okay, in first place on the queen, we had Ron.
My last night on the river ended at Rio Negro Lodge, where the natives danced to Amazon rhythms, joined on stage by a few visiting anglers. Yes, it was a festive evening on the banks of the Amazon. A place where your fish stories can grow larger than life itself.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So when do we get to go on a trip like that?
Maybe someday, Laura. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Well, you can learn more about Ron's favorite winter adventures on our new Minnesota Bound podcast.
Yep, it's called The Stories Behind the Stories. And Ron and I sit down to talk about his memorable and not so memorable moments traveling outside the country.
And you can find that podcast on mnbound.com. Well, that does it for us. We'll see you back here next week.
In the meantime, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433.